at Sandow.
Yeah, I always call him Miz now.
And it will be obviously Kevin Sullivan and Taz with the victory. And they will take on the winner of Christopher Daniels and Kazarian taking on the Pitbulls. And it was actually the Pitbulls victorious, and they will take on Kevin Sullivan
former
and Taz.
ECW Tag Team Champions.
Yep, I will actually get to see
former guest of ours at the
the
big event,
big
Legends of the
event,
Ring, Gary Wolf, Pitbull #1.
I will actually be lucky enough to see Christopher Daniels and Kazarian wrestle Saturday night, ROH, New York City.
Nice.
Terminal 15. It will be amazing. It is actually going to be Samoa Joe's last independent show. So it'll be very, very good. Next matchup, we had Diamond Dallas Page and Karl Malone taking on Kane and X-Pac. That was just some bad booking and late WCW booking. That's exactly what that was.
At least Karl Malone fit the criteria. He kind of looked like a wrestler.
He did look like a wrestler.
I mean, he wasn't like some fat slobby. I mean, this guy was ripped.
It was like Malone, and then you had Rodman come in and do some stuff.
All I know is I saw Karl Malone scoop body slam Hulk Hogan. That's all I know.
Yeah.
All right, so that's no joke. You got an NBA player slamming a 300-pound heavyweight champion.
Yeah. I mean, Malone was in great shape. I'm not gonna doubt that. It will be Kane and X-Pac victorious over Diamond Dallas Page and Karl Malone. Next matchup, we have the Natural Disasters taking on Tommy Dreamer and Johnny Gunn. And it was actually the Natural Disasters victorious, as they will take on Kane and X-Pac. And that would actually be a really good matchup. Definitely looking forward to seeing who is victorious in that matchup. Next, we have Hollywood Hogan and the aforementioned Dennis Rodman taking on Bobby Roode and Austin Aries. Great tag team in TNA, I have to say. Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, that was an amazing tag team. And we actually had Bobby Roode and Austin Aries victorious over Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman, the crazy one. We had Los Guerreros taking on the American Dreams. And it was Los Guerreros victorious, and they will take on Bobby Roode and Austin Aries. And that'll be a very good matchup as well.
Yep.
We had the Varsity Club taking on one of the three late 1990s tag teams that we were just speaking of, Edge and Christian. And it was Edge and Christian victorious over the Varsity Club. Next, we had Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake, another pairing that happened in the early 90s, but it was still a very, very good tag team, as they take on We the People, Jack Swagger, and Cesaro. And it was Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake victorious, as they will take on Edge and Christian next round, which will be a very interesting matchup to see which way that goes.
Considering that Christian and Edge and Hogan were former champs together.
Yes, they were, exactly. And Hogan's well, I guess you consider that final run in WWE.
His final run times 2.
Times 2, yeah, exactly. Next, you had Four Horsemen taking on Beer Money. And Beer Money, actually, I really like Beer Money in TNA, but it was obviously no-brainer. Class of their own. It was obviously the Four Horsemen victorious. And they will take on the winners of the Suicide Blondes, taking on Money Inc. And that's a great matchup. Suicide Blondes and Money Inc. And it was Money Inc. victorious.
A lot of people don't remember Money Inc. It's amazing how I don't remember Mike Rotunda, IRS, and Ted DiBiase.
It was a great tag team.
Former champs. I mean,
and that's one of those other top 15
with
tag
Jimmy
teams.
Hart as their manager.
Yep. And it'll be a great matchup. The Four Horsemen taking on Money Inc. next round. And it was Danny Doring and Roadkill taking on HBK, Shawn Michaels, and Diesel. And it was HBK and Diesel victorious. And we have Road Warriors, LOD, taking on John Cena and every partner he's ever had. Which I love that title.
He can fill a bracket by himself.
John Cena and every partner he's ever had. And it was, rightfully so, Road Warriors victorious over John Cena and every partner he's ever had. I can't get over that.
John Cena and every partner he ever had can fill up a bracket by itself.
We could probably do 120.
We could do a John Cena tag team bracket. That's it. It's John Cena and every partner.
We should actually do John Cena. It should be, well, no. There's too many. And it will be Road Warriors taking on Shawn Michaels and Diesel in the next round, which would be a great matchup. We had the Super Destroyers taking on Just Incredible and Lance Storm. And it will be Lance Storm and Just Incredible advancing till the next round. We had Gemini taking on Ric Flair and Rowdy Roddy Piper. And it was Rowdy Roddy Piper for the second time, I believe, advancing to the next round.
A tag team you never thought you would ever see.
Yeah. And it will be Ric Flair and Roddy Piper taking on Just Incredible and Lance Storm, which would be an awesome matchup. I will have to say that. Next, we have the Briscoe Brothers taking on the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and The Undertaker. And it was the Brothers of Destruction victorious. Next, we have Star and Goldust, the son of the plumber.
Yes.
Taking on Mr. Fuji and Mr. Sayoto. And it was Mr. Fuji and Mr. Sayoto. I don't even know how I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I think it's Mr. Saito.
Saito, whatever.
Just call him Champ. Former tag team champions.
Yep. And they advanced by beating Stardust and Goldust. And it was the Revolution taking on the Von Erichs, who, Kerry Von Erich is my number 2 favorite wrestler of all time behind HBK. And it was the Von Erichs victorious. Next, we have Legacy taking on Hector and Chavo Guerrero. And it was Hector and Chavo Guerrero advancing as they will take on the Von Erichs in the next round.
A little family affair going on.
Yeah, definitely. Next, another great matchup right here. We have the Rock and Roll Express taking on Rick and Scott, the Steiner brothers. By the way, did you see Scott Steiner's new back tattoo when he was wrestling at Legend?
Yeah.
He has like this. I don't even know what it is. It's just like black ink on his back. It's horrible.
His body is not falling nicely.
I love Scott Steiner though. You just give him a mic and just let him talk for an hour. I will love it.
No.
Kev hates his mic skills. I think they're brilliant, actually.
Yeah, they're as brilliant as Sid Vicious.
And it was the Steiner brothers victorious over Rock and Roll Express. Next, we have the Mexicools taking on the original NWO. And it was the NWO victorious as they will take on the Steiner brothers, which we obviously saw in WCW. Yep. Next, we have the Machines taking on the Hollywood Blondes. Brian Pillman and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That was the Hollywood Blondes. If you click that question mark and click on the Hollywood Blondes.
Because Kev forgot to do something.
Sorry. It happens.
And it was the Hollywood Blondes advancing. I'm staring at the screen and it's just question marks. And I'm like, I'm curious who won that matchup. But it was the Hollywood Blondes advancing. And it will be the U.S. Express taking on Men on a Mission. And it was U.S. Express victorious as they will take on the Hollywood Blondes. Next, we had the Fabulous Freebirds taking on the Young Stallions. And it was the Fabulous Freebirds advancing.
Don't you want to yell Wild Stallions? I just do that. Every time we see the Young Stallions, they go Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, they just want to go, Wild Stallions! Just do the air guitar. But yeah, that's just me.
The next matchup we had was Hillbilly Jim and Uncle Elmer taking on the Twin Towers. And
was 600 pounds. Well, let me see. I'd say 650 pounds taking on about 750 pounds.
Yeah. And it was the Twin Towers victorious.
It was.
And next we have the Johnsons taking on Nikolai Volkov and Boris. I don't even want to pronounce his last name.
Zukov.
And it was Nikolai Volkov and Boris Zukov victorious. Next we have the West Hollywood Blondes. You got me there. Taking on the Brainbusters. And it was the Brainbusters victorious. And it will be the Brainbusters advancing against Nikolai Volkov and Boris Zukov.
And that is the end of our greatest tag team round number 2 as we do our Chinese fire drill and switch seats because we're going to be joined at this moment by our guest of the day. He's the head man of ESS Promotions, Eric Sims. Mr. Sims, welcome back to the show.
It's not the S, it's ESS, and I'm happy to be back on Damage Radio 365.
We're gonna have to practice your promotion skills for a guy who owns a promotional company, there, buddy.
Yes.
That's okay. You don't get paid to speak. You get paid to present the talent, the wrestling gods, if you will, of our industry that we all love and hate. But so tell us, we spoke to you a while ago, and we spoke to you about the kind of business you do, and that you bring in talent and things along that nature, and now I kind of want to talk to you about what goes on in, I can't even call it a day because I know it takes a lot more than a day to set up a guy that comes in and you do your show, but let's say a guy let's say Ezekiel Jackson. Let's say Ezekiel Jackson gives you a call and says, Eric, I want you to bring me into the big event. Bang. How does it start now?
Well, it doesn't. To work for me, it works differently because basically I have sponsors like wrestling promoters or whoever say, I want to use this guy, whoever, Ezekiel Jackson or whoever. So then I'll call the talent to see if they're available for that particular date. Once that's done, I try to find. I have an idea of price, but I'll find out what they're looking for, and then I'll go out and try to put a weekend together for them because I like to do multiple shot deals. That way, it's beneficial for everybody that's all parties involved. So that way, everybody doesn't get killed in the price, and everybody can afford to have a talent come in. So I'll put multiple shot weekend together at a fair market price. And we go from there, and then then the sponsors are responsible for advertising. The talent to show up. I'll throw it up on my website. I'll throw it up on my social media, and we'll and it goes like that.
Okay, and I know you're talking about sponsors. Like, are you talking about some of these where you bring them to do the autographs?
A wrestling promoter is a sponsor. One of my collectible stores are my sponsors. Because I go to multiple collectible stores. If like one of my shoot interview companies, I'll reach out to them to see if they're interested in doing a shoot interview with whatever talent I have coming in. Or one of my other one of the pizza places I deal with. One of my other sponsors, who might be interested in doing a signing with whatever talent is brought in.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, that's what my question was about sponsors. If it was one of the sites that you bring them in to sign, or a wrestling promotion, a thing along that nature. No.
Well, they're all sponsors. I mean,
they're all paying for your product.
They're all people that are that are reaching out to me, or one will reach out to me, and then I'll do the rest. So it's like it's a whole network of things that goes on.
Right. Okay. Now there was some hiccup that occurred. There's a show coming up on the 27th with Superstars of Wrestling. You had a couple of your guys that were supposed to be on the show, and whatever, I have no idea what happened. A little bit blink of an eye. Your guys were no longer on the show. Two other guys were brought in through someone else, and some dirt was flung, or monkey poop was flung, whatever you want to call it, and whatever, level heads, eventually calm down. But what happens there that can cause such a last minute cancellation?
This caught me completely off guard. That was totally unexpected because I've had a really good working relationship with Rob Fury and the Superstars of Wrestling, or Superstars of Wrestling Federation.
Right.
Okay. And now I'm going to get more into it, but as as the dirty laundry is starting to get aired, and Rob asked to have a truce because I guess my dirty laundry is dirtier than his dirty laundry.
Right.
So I promised I would keep a truce to it, but I got it, and I will remain professional, but I got to tell the truth without putting any hinge into it. So this is what happened. Okay. I got a call. Rob called me and Facebook messaged me last Tuesday. Rob basically said that they're changing. Keep in mind, it's 2 weeks out from the show. 2 weeks.
Okay.
They're changing directions. They're canceling my three talents: Nikolai Volkov, Sandman, and Snitsky.
and they're going a different direction. They're with sponsorships or something to the fact that they don't want to use my